technology consultant. Clues indicate that he didn't intend to survive the blast after recently giving away his car and home, telling the recipient that he had cancer. The Associated Press reports that in the days leading up to the explosion, the suspect told a neighbor that, quote, "The world is never going to forget me." Yesterday, President-elect Joe Biden had this to say about the bombing.
This bombing was a reminder of the destructive power that an individual or a small group can muster and the need for continuing vigilance across the board. I want to thank the police department in Nashville, particularly those 5 police officers who worked so quickly to evacuate the area before the explosion occurred, risking their own lives.
In contrast, John, President Trump has yet to publicly comment on the attack. I mean, has he just stopped being president?
In many ways, Casey, he has. He's been all consumed with his efforts to overturn this election. We haven't heard from him on the virus in weeks, and he's not offered a word of sympathy or even thanks for those who responded to this blast in Nashville. Now, the governor of Tennessee said he's heard from the White House, who've offered resources and support. But the mayor of Nashville last night said that he had not heard anything from President Trump. And Elise Jordan, this sort of fits into a pattern where we often don't hear from the president after matters of domestic terror, when he has been so quick, however, as both candidate and chief executive to do speak out when it's more of a perhaps an international incident. What do you make of this? Why do you think the president has yet again remained silent on this? Is it simply he just isn't president anymore?
Sure looks that way. I wish that, to be that narcissistic and just have the lack of empathy where you could have so many people dying every day from coronavirus, and you could have a suicide bomber explode in downtown Nashville and yet not bat an eyelash, not worry at all, and just go along playing golf and making your videos about how great you are and rage tweeting. It just really is incredible. And if the suicide bomber had been perhaps of a different ethnicity, do you think that Donald Trump would have raised a little bit more holy hell about it? Yes. So I want to, I don't want to talk before we know the full details of what happened. It seems like it was a very elaborate suicide, and with a bomber who didn't care about collateral damage, but luckily no one was killed. It's crazy that this many years after 9/11, when for so many years we were worried about getting bombed at Walmart, something like this happens on the streets of a major American city, and it's kind of just, you hear a collective whatever, and the American president doesn't even comment about it.
It really is absolutely stunning when you put it that way, Elise.